Hello my dear students. Now in current lecture number 4, we'll discuss first effect of temperature on resistance and resistivity. Second, we'll describe the mobility. Third, we'll define the current density. Fourth, we'll define the Ohm's law in vector form. All are important short questions, 1 marks, 2 marks and 3 marks. All are important questions. Let us discuss one after another. For this, let me recap. Recap means reference. We can take the reference of previous classes just for 1 minute. You can see. I think your memory is not very sharp to recollect this one first. We have read, just to listen 1 or 2 minutes. We have read, if there is a metallic conductor, I mean copper, silver, gold, whatever it may be. Generally we take the copper of length L and area cross section A is connected across a potential difference V, then an electric field is set up from plus to minus. As a result, the electron starts drifting from negative towards positive. This is the conclusions we have drawn. Now the drift velocity in magnitude E capital E tau by m, E charge of electron, mass of electron, applied electric field, and this is the most important part called the relaxation time. Now as a result, current is developed in the circuit. Current is related to drift velocity by this relation, I is equal to NAVD. Current directly proportional to drift velocity. Higher the drifting, more is the current. With which we have taken this drift velocity, substituted here, we have got a very well known relation called as Ohm's law, in which we get a term called as R, called as resistance, which is given by ml by NA E square tau. Again let me recollect the terms here. M is mass of electron, L is length of this conductor, A is the area cross section of this conductor, tau is the relaxation time, means time between successive collisions. One electron takes some time to collide with other electrons or other ions, that is the relaxation times, and the N is the number density of electron, number of electrons per unit volume, and it is different for different materials as a conductor. And this I have taken as a conductor, and this is the connecting wire. And in practicals what to do, you will be given a resistance wire. Resistance wire means whose resistance is greater than the copper wire, because copper is a material whose conductivity is greater than the resistance material nichrome wire or you use in the lab. That's why I have taken this is the resistance wire and this is the connecting wire, copper, whose resistance is expected to be negligible. What happens as a result? And as a result, this conductor opposes the flow of current. We represent that in the form of this resistance. Now we will discuss the questions one after another. See, first we will consider the effect of temperature on resistivity. Now you imagine this formula under considerations. Rho equals to m divided by n E square tau. M is mass of electron, E is charge of electron. You can see mass of electron, charge of electron, number density, number of electrons per unit volume for a material remains constant. That means when temperature increases, you can remember this by listening it, no need of reading in details. Temperature, when temperature increases, the temperature of the conductor increases. That means if temperature increases, that means heat energy is applied. Heat is a form of energy. Then this electron, after gaining some energy, vibrate vigorously. The kinetic energy increases. It collides faster. So this is a electron and this is another electron, and this is the distance for which the electron will move. If we increase the temperature, the kinetic energy increases and it strikes faster. If it strikes faster or quicker, relaxation time decreases. So that if temperature increases, relaxation time decreases. If relaxation time decreases, then rho increases. I think this is the only fact you should remember. I am repeating it. No need of again going details about this one. When temperature of this conductor increases, then relaxation time decreases because electron strikes faster. Then if this decreases, this is inversely proportional to this, so this increases. That means temperature increases, the resistivity increases, and R equal to rho L by A. L A remaining constant. Since rho increases, then R increases. So this is the conclusions we are getting, very simple conclusions. I am telling in one sentence. If temperature increases, relaxation time decreases, resistivity increases, as well as resistance increases. So resistance and resistivity both will increase with increase in temperature. This is the conclusion. But question is how much? Resistance definitely will increase, but question is how much? So there is no derivation for this, and we have an empirical relations. I mean, empirical relation means relation obtained from observations. I think you are able to follow this one. Result obtained by means of experimental observations. That's why we are giving the direct relations. Empirical relation, resistance at theta degree equal to resistance at 0 degree 1 plus alpha theta. This is the empirical relation. Here R theta, resistance at theta degree Celsius. R0 is resistance at 0 degree Celsius. Alpha is temperature coefficient of resistance, and we will describe this one in details. What is actually this? Alpha is the temperature coefficient of resistance. In thermal expansion in first year in heat chapter, we have a relation like this. LT is equal to L0 1 plus alpha T. So there is a, when body is heated, it increases in length, it increases in breadth, it increases in height, or it increases in area, it increases in volume. In similar fashion, if R0 is the resistance at 0 degree, R theta is the resistance at theta degree, then R theta is related by R0 by this R theta is equal to R0 1 plus alpha theta, where alpha equal to R theta minus R0. You can see alpha theta, you can see here R0 multiply karibo, R0 multiply karibo, so that here you can take the R theta minus R, I am writing directly, you can solve it, so that R0 theta. So this is the alpha called as temperature coefficient of resistance, and this is determined by means of experiment for certain materials. And for different materials, this alpha you can see, this is the resistance, this is the resistance. So in unit, resistance cancels out, temperature in denominator, so degree Celsius inverse, and in dimension, that is K inverse. This is very simple, you can find out alpha from this. But what is the significance of this alpha, we can say? See, unit and dimension can be obtained from this formula. And here question is, if alpha is positive, and this is for ohmic conductors, remember, ohmic conductor means almost all metals, the material or the devices which satisfies Ohm's law, V by I is equal to constant, V I graph is a straight line, that is ohmic. For that alpha is positive. See, if alpha is positive for certain materials, then alpha is positive. See, this is a positive. That's why R theta greater than R0, because this minus this must be positive. So this should be greater than this. Eta bada hobo, eta chotto hobo. This minus this is positive. R theta greater than R0 means the resistance increases when temperature increases. R theta greater than R0, 0 re jaha resistance अछि theta re higher habo. See the second one. If alpha is negative, and this is for non-ohmic, and these are semiconductors. We have already read this one, and this is a very important short question. Remember, questions may be asked from conductors or semiconductor. You shouldn't interchange them. We have read in semiconductor, when temperature increases, conductivity increases, so resistivity decreases. But reverse happens in this case. You see, when temperature increases, resistance increases in case of metals or conductors. We satisfy Ohm's law. For that, alpha is positive. For which alpha is negative, that is non-ohmic conductor, it is negative, means R theta less than R0. This is less than this. So when that means resistance decreases when temperature increases. So when temperature increases, resistance decreases. So conductance again increases. That happens in semiconductor. But most peculiar case and very important case, if alpha is equal to 0, it may not be exactly 0, but in some cases it is equal to 0. What happens? If alpha is equal to 0, that means R theta equal to R0. You should remember this. R theta equal to R0 means resistance at 0 degree is equal to resistance at theta degree. What does it mean? The मान्य कौन? If you increase the temperature, resistance will never increase. So this is a very important concept. You will use in practicals, and oral questions will be asked in practicals. I am giving an examples. You will verify Ohm's law. V by I is equal to R. You will give in number of resistances. 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 4 ohm resistance will be given to you materials. And you will be asked a question. You have read when temperature. You should listen it carefully. If you increase the temperature, resistance of a conductor or metals increases, and that resistance is manufactured out of certain materials, and you are doing the practicals with wide variations of temperature. In some states, some particular point, the temperature may be 5 degrees Celsius and 10 degrees Celsius. So in some cases, in summer, we may be temperature 40 degree, 45 degrees Celsius. From 5 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius is 9 times higher. If there is an increase in temperature, I think the same resistance that is used in practicals, can it be used in various places or in the various times in the same lab? Tamma lab re, in winter, in summer, same resistance can be applied? Answer is yes, because that is made up of these type of materials whose temperature coefficient of resistance is 0, and that's why in resistance box you will use in practical, and these materials are used. Remember this. One is manganese. This may be also one more short questions in theory. Constantan. This is a alloy of manganese. This is alloy of tin. Tin, tin. Constantan. One is constantan. One is manganese. These are the alloys of certain materials manufactured to make this one, to make the resistance box, in which temperature does not change. Even if temperature changes, resistance does not change. Even if temperature changes, this is a very important conclusions we are using in lab. Over. Now, with this, you may be asked some problems over this formula, direct problems, and data will be given. You can put to get the answers. I am removing this one. First part is over. Let me consider the second one. All the definitions will complete it. And today in this lecture, first part of current electricity will be over. And we have divided current electricity in 3 parts. First part will be over. Second part will go for resistance series parallel, cells series parallel, and Kirchhoff's laws. So let us take to mobility. So what is mobility actually? Mobility. Say now is lockdown. Now in a heavy schedule, in busy schedule, say Dasara. In reality, not this time, in real Dasara or any Baljatra, you are having huge gathering. Now if you will be asked to go with a car, with a motorcycle, with a bicycle, or in walking condition, which will you prefer? I will prefer walking conditions. Some will prefer bicycle or scooter. Car comes later on because mobility will be very difficult. Mobility. In conductor, during the flow of current, in conductor, during the flow of current, you see, the electrons can move. Electrons, you do not think that electrons all the times moves. The charges can move. Which charges? These three things I have given specified in the notes. You should also remember this one. It is a very confusing statement for all many students. Tell me, in a metallic conductor just like this, what moves? Actually, electron drifts. Okay, that means in metal, what moves? Electron. Now ionized gas. Ionized gas means, take an example of nitrogen. Now when electrons is removed, this becomes nitrogen plus. Here positive ion, positive charge, remember, positive ion and electron. These are the electrons and these are positive ions. That means in an ionized gas, we can have motions of electrons or positive ion. Okay. Now next, electrolyte, you will read in electrochemistry. Here positive ion or negative ion. These are the very fundamental things you should know. Metal ray, in metals, the charges that moves, charge carriers we can say, electrons. In ionized gases, charge carriers by which you can get the current, maybe electron, maybe positive ions. In electrolyte, either positive ion or negative ion, just like sodium chloride. Sodium giving an electron becomes sodium plus, chlorine taking one electron becomes chlorine minus. They are positive and negative ions. Ions can move in this case. Okay, so as per these conditions, we want to define what is mobility and on what factor the mobility depends. These are the questions. What is mobility and on what factor the mobility depends? See this one. Mobility is defined as, the simple definition, mobility is defined as the magnitude of drift velocity divided by electric field. These are definitions. Mu is equal to drift velocity by electric field. I have taken the magnitude. And remember, mobility always positive. Mobility cannot be negative. Unit and dimension, it is up to you. You are in second year, you are in class 12. I think no need of telling the unit and dimension of a physical quantity unless it has a special unit. If a quantity has no special unit, I think no need of telling the units. You can substitute the unit of velocity, you can substitute the electric field, you can get the unit. Also I have done it. Now Vd equals to, here you can see Vd equals to E tau by m. Remember, these are the only key equations to answer all the questions. E tau by m by E. E is there, cancels out, E tau by m. Now it is your duty to tell on what factor the mobility depends. Mobility of a charge carriers inside a conductor, the mobility of charge carriers depends on only on temperature, because on temperature the relaxation time decreases. If temperature increases, relaxation time decreases. You may be asked a question, if temperature increases, what happens to mobility? Temperature increases, relaxation time decreases, so this decreases, we can say. So this depends on this. See, when temperature increases, the relaxation time decreases. I think you know this one. Again I am telling you, relaxation time is time between two collisions with an electron or a positive ion. So this time is the relaxation time, free time. And when temperature increases, this moves faster, relaxation time decreases. That's why this only depends on relaxation time, nothing else. Come to the next point. Important, most important point I can say. Current density. And current density Ohm's law is one derivation. This is the last part of this chapter. See. Now current density, as its name indicates. So let me, I am explaining this one now. This is over. This is over. Not to confuse with, let me remove this one. These short questions. These are only short questions. Current density. Generally, when we tell the current in a metallic conductor, some are confused. Whether current is a scalar or current is a vector. Still, I am also confused. I think you are confused. You are telling current is a scalar because R told us. Current is charged by time, charge is a scalar, time is a scalar, so current is a scalar. But why should you give the directions of the current? See, current actually, these concepts should be understood very clearly. Current, we are writing charge by time. If you consider a section here, section, and I is defined as rate of flow of charge, rate of flow of charge. And remember, this is macroscopic. Macroscopic means in the larger view. Whenever you are considering a current in a conductor, you are taking rate of flow of charge. In whole, you are taking a rate of flow of charge from this section. That is a macroscopical concept you are taking. You are not taking a point at all. You are not taking at all a point. But if you consider, so this is a conductor for an examples. Now we can say the electron moves in this direction. Electron positive charge, I can say electron moves in this directions. Here, let me take this side. I am removing this one. Here you follow this one. This is a conductor. I am taking this area cross section. Now this is the directions of current I am taking inside this current. As I have taken the current from plus to minus. And current is a macroscopic larger concept, microscopic smaller concept. And current is a macroscopic concept. Current density is a microscopic concept. Now, here you imagine an area under consideration, dA. Now, here we can say, we define the current density through this area by a relation to represent, see, limit del t tends to 0, del I by del A, so di by dA. What is the concept of this one actually? Current is flowing across through this area, okay? Now, we want to define the microscopic. Electron size is very small. Electron size is very, very small. So, if you consider the microscopic point of view, the electron drifts. You can define current at a particular point. Current at a particular point cannot be defined. Current through section of conductor can be defined. So, current is a hypothetical concept. Current is a macroscopic concept. But in microscopic concept, what we do, if you choose this area to be as small, you see, del area, you should choose del area as small as possible, then this formula, current by area, which is defined as current density, can be written like this. And direction is along the normal to this area. So, this is the concept you are giving. Current density is a microscopical definitions of current, microscopical concept. Current is a macroscopical concept. Current is the totally whole, on the whole, the rate of flow of charge through a section, we can say through a section, but current density is defined at a point. And remember, its direction is in the directions of current. You may be asked a question, what is the directions of current density then? We will read now. Current density direction is directions of electric field, nothing else. Let us see this one. Now, I think this definition is clear for you. J vector is equal to di. This is the only thing we define. In shortcut, you can write like this, I by A, this much. I by A in vector form, you can write n cap. N cap means normal to the surface. For example, this is the area and along the normal you have to consider. If this will be in this directions area, you have to take the normal component. It is immaterial. So you write current density is equal to current per area. This time in your syllabus, new syllabus, current density factor has been eliminated. But Ohm's law is not eliminated. So you may be asked a question, derive Ohm's law in vector form. So how to derive if you do not know the current density? That's why you should have some idea about the current density. Current density by simple definition, remember current by area directed along the normal to the surface, directed along the direction of current. But I will prove now the directions of current density is in the directions of electric field. Let us see now. I think you are distinguished between current and current density. Current hochi macroscopic point of view, and this is the total whole in the whole rate of flow of charge through any section, not a point. But at any point you can choose area to be as small as possible, so that you can write this del I by del A to di by di in derivative, and you can write current density J. You may ask me why J? I, after I alphabet is J, my name is not J here. So J vector is equal to n cap, J vector is equal to I by A n cap here we can say, and current by area ampere by meter square is the unit of current density. Let us see the directions of current density. Simple definitions we can. Now I am going for the third one. You see. Now we have defined J is equal to I by A n cap. N cap is the normal, that's why I am giving the n cap. There is nothing new thing here, remember. Now I am going for this one, Ohm's law in vector form, and I will prove that J equal to sigma E. Sigma is the conductivity. I will derive this one now. This is a 3 mark short questions, remember. See, by definition, simple derivations, J is equal to I by A. And I think you have already read what is I. Now simply you take J equals to I you can take from this. You can take I, NA VD, VD is here also, NA VD, N A VD E by A, you can cancel it, N VD you can take the value, VD you can take E, capital E, tau by M, I am taking the help of this one. Now here tau by M, N VD E is there, that's why I am getting N E square tau by M into E, in the left hand side J, the current density. Now you can see this formula. Rho equal to M divided by N E square tau, and you can see this. See that rho is equal to M divided by N E square tau. Is it not 1 by rho? Reciprocal of resistivity is conductivity. So this is the relation. Reciprocal of resistivity is conductivity sigma. Reciprocal of resistance, so reciprocal of resistance is called as conductance. Reciprocal of resistivity is called as conductivity. If you know the unit dimension of this, you can find this. If you know the unit dimension of this, you can find this. Now J is equal to sigma E, in vector form you can write this. J is equal to sigma E vector. This is the vector form of Ohm's law, which we have read. I is equal to V by R or G into V. Current is equal to voltage by resistance. 1 by resistance is conductance. So conductance into V. I is equal to G into V is the Ohm's law in scalar form. And J vector is equal to sigma into E vector in vector form. Sigma being scalar quantity, J vector takes the directions of electric field. Remember, electric field is directed from plus to minus. We have taken the concept current, we are giving conventional current from plus to minus. Electric field is from actually plus to minus, and here in reality current density is in the direction of electric field also from plus to minus. Okay, and जहाँ गोटे मन पड़ोनी मु आउ गोटे मेथड सहज उपाय बताऊँ लिखी भी देती नोट रे देख केमती सहज उपाय बताऊँ जहाँ को ए फर्मूला हठात मन पड़ोनी ही कैन प्रोसीड लाइक दिस J इज इक्वल टू I बाई ए ताले I इज इक्वल टू केते हबो जे ए हेनी कि I इज इक्वल टू जे ए सो V इज इक्वल टू I R. You know all the formula, you know J is equal to I by A definition, I is equal to J by J cross multiplication, you know Ohm's law, V is equal to I R is equal to I, R is equal to, you know, R is equal to rho L by A, R is equal to rho L by A, this. So J equal to, now you can substitute here, I R, I is equal to J A पकई दबो I is equal to J A एट I J I पकड़े पकड़े J I रे J A रो L by A कैंसल है गला is equal to J रो L by V. This implies that V by L is equal to J रो. Okay, V by L is equal to कहते इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इज इक्वल टू J रो J by सिग्मा रो इज इक्वल टू 1 by sigma. So रो इज इक्वल टू 1 by sigma. So J by sigma. So J is equal to sigma I. J is equal to sigma I. This is a very rough method, I think. Though it is easy, you can use only the formula you know earlier, you can substitute. But can I specify the Ohm's law in vector form? Because I myself are using Ohm's law here, you see. I am using the Ohm's law and finding the Ohm's law in vector form. But here I am not using Ohm's law, I am finding the vector from Ohm's law. Okay? I think today we have completed the effect of temperature on resistance and resistivity. Second, the mobility. We have defined the mobility and we have defined on what factor the mobility depends. We have defined current density, a new concept, the microscopical definitions of electric current, and electric current is a macroscopic definition. Microscopical definitions of current is current density, vector we can say, and it is directed along electric field. As from this formula, it is directed electric field, and that is the vector form of Ohm's law. Okay. Now next, in lecture number 5, we will go in brief resistance in series and parallel. No derivation is there in this time, you have read in school. We will take the formula, we will go cells in series, cells in parallel. Then we will go for very important concept of Kirchhoff's law in the next lecturer. Thank you all.